What's going on, guys? It's Tom with Stocked Up. Today was fantastic for the markets. We saw two consecutive green days for the first time in a while. Boeing closed up over 24%, just over $160. That's a 56% increase from the lows of $90. Of course, a bailout and aid was in the stimulus package that just passed. We could still retest lows, especially with the unprecedented volatility the virus and oil have brought into the U.S. markets. Remember, we report job data tomorrow, and if the jobless claims report comes back and a lot more people are unemployed, which there is, that could hurt the market very, very significantly. We could definitely see a drop in the Dow and the S&P 500 just because of that. Obviously, the virus and a lot of the oil downturns that have happened, especially with OPEC and the Saudis, that can definitely affect the jobless claims. Obviously, a lot of people aren't at work or have been laid off right now. So if a lot of people are filing for unemployment, that's going to definitely affect the jobless claims, as a lot of times the government has to pitch in for that. This is the S&P 500 futures slash ES. We can see ever since the market opened this morning, you can see it really just went straight upwards. But as the end of the day came, you can see we really turned red very significantly and very hard. And right now it looks like we may go ahead and break the 1,000 SMA and head lower. You never know, but right now there's very low volume in with it being futures, and it being 5 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock or 7, depending on if you're East Coast, West, or Central. Really, it just depends. But it's really comes down to there being such low volume. You can see how low the volume is sometimes. That there was halts during the after hours or pre-market, whichever one you want to call it, on futures. But pretty much futures trade 24/5, just like a few ETFs like SPY, and pretty much. You can see that the low volume, there's not as big of moves, obviously, because the volatility is just not there. So right now there's low volatility, but tomorrow, whenever that jobless claim comes in, expect a lot of volatility coming into the market. Even with the market open, there should be tons of volatility. I expect it to be down, but you never know. I'm only expecting it down just because of the virus and how much that's really affected jobs and people having to get fired and go on unemployment. But like I said, a whole bunch of stocks went up today, and the big ones that really went up are Boeing. So different airline companies like Delta, Boeing, and then more ones are cruise lines like CCL, which is Carnival. And you can check Boeing right here has really rose very significantly. Like I said, the lows of $90 all the way up to 160 right here. You can see it bounce right off the 1,000 SMA. So I do expect it to go ahead and drop a little bit lower before we retest the highs and maybe break them and head up above 200. But this is something to look at. Boeing, CCL, BP, which is an oil company, had a very, very good day. British Petroleum, obviously, they're right above their 1,000 SMA. They will be following oil right up. So if we go to /CL, this is oil. And if you guys wanted to go ahead and play some oil options, I suggest playing USO if you want to go ahead and make some plays on oil, because it will definitely be volatile. So the options are definitely going to be more overpriced than normal with the volatility being up. Let's check it. USO. Yeah, you can see the implied volatility is starting to rise down here with it being low, but it is starting to head into these SMAs and kind of curve back up. But you never know with oil here, especially with what's going on with the news with Saudi Arabia and with Russia. So as I said in the beginning of the video, the reason we've seen green the past 2 days is because of how lawmakers have been doing the stimulus package. But at the end of the day, we really saw a lot of red, and that's because lawmakers, they went ahead and delayed it a little bit longer, which is denting the hopes of a speedy rollout. You can see it right here, reported by investing.com. After notching the first back-to-back wins for the first time in more than 2 months, we gave back gains in late selling Wednesday as lawmakers tussled on Capitol Hill over the $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus package, denting hopes of a speedy rollout. Then you can look at all the different stuff right here. I'll have the link to the article in the description of the video. And you can even see as early as 1 hour ago, tempers rise in the U.S. Senate as vote nears on the $2 trillion coronavirus bill. This is something that they're really arguing about right now. There's a whole bunch of different things that they're trying to throw into this bill. It's not really all just about the coronavirus relief right now. Trust me, they're trying to throw a whole bunch of different things into there, and they're really trying to keep all that from happening. And so they're really going to fight about it, and it's something that is just going to happen because that's what happens in government, guys. It's what happens with politics, and they really try to play with people's emotions and play with the market, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. So as far as good plays for tomorrow, guys, I would definitely watch USO and watch that for definite momentum one way or the other. Watch for oil news to come out. A lot of people like to report things on Wednesdays. Go ahead and watch SPY. You can go ahead and play SPY. I would definitely watch for it to be bearish tomorrow with the news on the jobs report, especially if the jobs data comes out negative. Watch for a lot of negative momentum in the SPY. If it comes out positive tomorrow and ends up breaking, it is above the 1000 SMA right now, so it could end up going significantly higher to like 270 plus, but I would not expect that. I would definitely expect it to go lower, especially with the virus and the way people have been laid off and the way people are filing for unemployment right now. If the market does go down tomorrow, just play some SPY puts. To get there, all you have to do is go right up here to trade, click trade, and then be very, very careful because with SPY, there's a whole bunch of different expiration dates. Obviously, tomorrow, the 25th expiration will not be available because that expired today. But you're going to want to go ahead and play the 27th of March of 2020 expiration. So the March 27th, and that's pretty much that's this Friday, and that's the one you're going to want to play because it's going to have the most volatility and it will move the most and be the cheapest because it's the closest to expiration. Obviously, if you buy more time, it's going to cost more because of time decay with options. So be very, very careful with that. And right now, the implied volatility is through the roof, so they're going to be a little bit more expensive anyways. But if we look at March 27th, if the market was going to go down tomorrow, I would go ahead and look at some SPY puts, maybe some 227 puts or some 220 puts. I would definitely not buy anything very, very close to the money because of how expensive it is. And with the volatility right now, it could definitely go either way. But you could go closer to the money if you did catch it correctly. But you would have to be very, very accurate in that tomorrow. So I would definitely play a little safer and go a little bit out of the money because the move should be pretty significant considering the volatility. And if it does go your way, it's going to go your way very significantly. If it doesn't go your way, you can go ahead and mitigate risk very quickly if you're there and you're ready and you're noticing it as soon as they release it. Just always remember there's a ton of volatility in the market right now. Everything can always go one way or the other within a couple of hours. The news is always changing, especially with the jobs report tomorrow. Watch for a lot of volatility. Do not expect one way or the other. Do not gamble on it. What you need to do is you need to wait for confirmations and then get in. Be smart with your plays, and then you'll be successful in a market condition such as this. If you enjoyed the video or have any news to share, please leave a comment down below. Thank you guys for watching.